Welcome to College Briefing. The content of the briefing includes: Winemakers in England reap rewards of warming climate. Caleb Love, Oumar Balllo power number 4 Arizona to a 100-81 win over California in Pac-12 opener. 2024 set to be a better year for VCs in Asia but not by much. Sam Bankman-Fried will not face a second trial, prosecutors say. Number 6 USC women, freshman Phenom Watkins face number 2 UCLA, talented sophomores in battle of unbeatens. Winemakers in England reap rewards of warming climate. Financial Times. Caleb Love, Oumar Balllo power number 4 Arizona to a 100-81 win over California in Pac-12 opener. The Toronto Star. The number 4 Arizona Wildcats defeated the California Golden Bears 100-81 in their Pac-12 opener. Caleb Love led Arizona with 22 points, while Oumar Balllo recorded his third consecutive double-double with 17 points and 11 rebounds. Jalen Tyson had 22 points and 10 rebounds for California in the losing effort. Arizona never trailed in the game and led by double digits for the final 34 minutes. The Wildcats have now won 14 straight games against Cal. 2024 set to be a better year for VCs in Asia but not by much. Nikkei Asia. The venture capital, VC, industry experienced a difficult year in 2023 due to geopolitical tensions, economic challenges, and limited exit opportunities. Startups in the Asia-Pacific region, which have been popular among VC investors for their rapid growth and large markets, raised 40% less funding this year compared to 2022. The total amount raised was $86.5 billion, down from $141.9 billion in 2022 and $221.4 billion in 2021. Although 2024 is expected to be slightly better for VC investments in Asia, uncertainty and caution will remain. The U.S. remains the biggest VC market, despite a 30% drop in capital raised this year. However, geopolitical tensions and wars mean that much of the VC capital will be invested domestically rather than abroad. This could be bad news for Asia, as U.S. capital plays a significant role in the region's VC ecosystem. U.S. investment in Asia is also expected to be influenced by the 2024 presidential election. If Democrat Joe Biden is re-elected, a more relaxed approach to China is expected, while a Republican president would likely adopt a more hawkish policy. The U.S.-China tensions and China's economic slowdown have led foreign VC investors to seek opportunities in other markets, such as Japan, India, and Vietnam. Sam Bankman-Fried will not face a second trial, prosecutors say. ABC. U.S. prosecutors have announced they will not conduct a second trial against Sam Bankman-Fried, who was convicted last month of stealing from customers of his bankrupt FTX cryptocurrency exchange. Prosecutors said the strong public interest in a prompt resolution of the case outweighed the benefits of a second trial. Bankman-Fried is scheduled to be sentenced on March 28, 2024, which will likely include orders of forfeiture and restitution for victims of his crimes. He could face decades in prison. Bankman-Fried's verdict came nearly a year after FTX filed for bankruptcy, erasing his once $26 billion personal fortune. Number 6 USC women, freshman Phenom Watkins face number 2 UCLA, talented sophomores in battle of unbeatens. Associated Press. UCLA and USC are set to face off in an anticipated college basketball game in Los Angeles. UCLA has quietly compiled an undefeated start to the season, while USC has been gaining attention due to the success of freshman Juju Watkins. The game will be the first-ranked matchup between the two teams since 1985 and the first time in almost 42 years that both teams have been in the top 10. UCLA has won the last 8 meetings between the teams, but UCLA players feel that their success has been overlooked and are eager to prove themselves. Lepolo scores career-high 20, number 9 Stanford women beat rival Cal 78-51. Associated Press. The number 9 Stanford women's basketball team won their third straight game by defeating California 78-51 in the Pac-12 opener for both teams. Talana Lepolo scored a career-high 20 points with 6 three-pointers, while Kiki Iriafen had 16 points and 10 rebounds. Stanford coach Tara Vanderveer is 6 wins away from becoming the winningest coach in college basketball history. In another game, number 22 Florida State beat Georgia Tech 95-80, with Tanaya Latson scoring 30 points for Florida State. Honors for Oscar-winning actor and broadcaster. BBC. James Martin, the star of the Oscar-winning film An Irish Goodbye, has been awarded an MBE for his services to drama. The 31-year-old actor played a lead role in the Northern Ireland production, which won an Academy Award for Best Live-Action Short Film. Martin has Down syndrome and said he felt emotionally happy to feature on the New Year honors list. Also on the list is broadcaster Pamela Ballantine, who is appointed an MBE for her charitable fundraising. Ballantine, who has been receiving treatment for breast cancer, said she was thrilled and delighted at the honors news. Martin's MBE follows a year of triumphs for the actor. An Irish Goodbye won an Oscar just weeks after it was named Best British Short Film at the British Academy of Film and Television Arts Awards. The black comedy is set on a family farm in rural Northern Ireland and showcases Martin's comedic timing. He has become an inspiration to many people and said he is often recognized and approached by people with disabilities. Martin said he is looking forward to traveling to London to accept his insignia and meeting everyone on the honors list. Also featured on the New Year honors list is Salim Tareen, who becomes an MBE for his services to mental ill health and community development. Tareen, a psychiatrist who has worked in Northern Ireland for many years, is involved with the Counselling All Nations Services (CANS) charity. The organization provides counseling for people whose first language is not English, including refugees and asylum seekers. Tareen said he felt very excited and humbled to be receiving the honor and hoped it would bring attention to the work he and others are doing. Britain is no longer safe, and few police chiefs care. Telegraph. The leadership of police chiefs is the most immediate factor affecting police performance, according to an op-ed in the Telegraph. The author criticizes many chief constables for failing to support their officers and staff, and for prioritizing appeasement over crime fighting. They also argue that police leaders are too focused on social justice, to the detriment of crime reduction strategies. The article calls for a shift in focus towards fighting crime, and for politicians to support this approach. John Carroll men's basketball rallies past Wheaton with huge second-half run. Yahoo! The John Carroll men's basketball team defeated Wheaton College, 96-87, after turning up the defensive pressure in the final 14 minutes of the game. The Blue Streaks were trailing Wheaton, 65-54, when they executed a 30-8 run to tip the game in their favor. The Blue Streaks improved to 9-1 with the win. Forbes, King sparked Tulane to 94-64 victory over Dillard. Associated Press. Tulane defeated Dillard with a score of 94-64 in a college basketball game. Jalen Forbes and Colby King both scored 22 points for Tulane. Jamie Sanders led the Blue Devils with 14 points. Supreme Court faces pressure to decide if Trump is on the 2024 ballot. Washington Post. The Supreme Court is under pressure to act quickly after a second state, Maine, decided to keep Donald Trump off the primary ballot for his role in the attack on the Capitol. Legal scholars have said other states, such as Colorado and Maine, could follow suit, potentially creating a patchwork of decisions across the U.S. Trump and his allies have cast the decisions as anti-democratic and politically motivated. The challenges to Trump's candidacy center on a provision of the Constitution's 14th Amendment, which says those who engage in insurrection after swearing to uphold the Constitution cannot hold office. Trump's dominance in GOP frustrates some in Iowa eager for a competitive campaign. The Toronto Star. With less than 3 weeks until the Iowa caucuses formally usher in the presidential nomination process, White House hopefuls are usually in a heated competition. They fan out across the state and pack as many events into a single day as is humanly possible, all in a bid to appeal to undecided voters and lock down support that could lift them to victory in Iowa and keep them in the race for months to come. But as the campaign intensifies ahead of the January 15 caucuses, the normal frenzy is subdued. While the schedule is filling up, former President Donald Trump is such a commanding force in the party that some voters worry the contest that normally transforms Iowa into the center of the political world may turn out to be something of a snooze. Weekend time schedule. Associated Press. The article provides a schedule of various sporting events taking place on December 30th and December 31st. The events mentioned include NFL games, NBA games, NHL games, college football bowl games, and top 25 men's and women's basketball games. The article also mentions tennis events taking place in Brisbane, Australia. Pago, Gautier lead Islanders past Capitals, 5-1. Associated Press. The New York Islanders defeated the Washington Capitals 5-1 in a game that saw Jean-Gabriel Pageau score 2 goals and add 2 assists. Julien Gauthier also had 2 goals and an assist for the Islanders, while Ilya Sorokin made 26 saves. The Islanders have now won 7 of their last 11 games at the UBS Arena. Miami, Ohio, secures 119-69 win over Wilberforce. Associated Press. Miami, Ohio, defeated Wilberforce 119-69 in a college basketball game on Friday night. Evan Ipsaro scored 17 points for Miami, while Callie Davis led Wilberforce with 21 points. That's all the news for today, folks. Let's start with some exciting news from the UK, where winemakers are reaping the rewards of a warming climate. England is now the fastest growing wine region in the world, thanks to rising global temperatures. They are not just producing sparkling wines anymore, but a wider range of varieties that are gaining international acclaim. In fact, between 2017 and 2022, wine production in England and Wales more than doubled, and the trend is expected to continue, with estimates of 20 to 22 million bottles in 2023. So, if you're a fan of wine, you might want to give English wines a try. In other news, the number 4 Arizona Wildcats had an impressive win over the California Golden Bears in their Pac-12 opener. Caleb Love and Oumar Balllo led the way for Arizona, and they never trailed in the game. Meanwhile, in the venture capital industry, 2023 was a difficult year due to geopolitical tensions and economic challenges. Startups in the Asia-Pacific region raised 40% less funding compared to the previous year. However, there is some hope for 2024, although uncertainty and caution will remain. The US remains the biggest VC market, but tensions with China and a possible change in US leadership could impact investments in Asia. Moving on, US prosecutors have announced that they will not conduct a second trial against Sam Bankman-Fried, who was convicted of stealing from customers of his bankrupt cryptocurrency exchange. Bankman-Fried is scheduled to be sentenced in March and could face decades in prison. In sports news, we have college basketball games, with the UCLA and USC women's teams facing off in a highly anticipated matchup. UCLA has been quietly undefeated so far, while USC has a freshman phenom in Juju Watkins. And in men's basketball, the John Carroll Blue Streaks and the Tulane Green Wave both had impressive wins. Finally, we have some honors and recognition. James Martin, the star of the Oscar-winning film An Irish Goodbye, has been awarded an MBE for his services to drama. He has become an inspiration to many people and is looking forward to accepting his insignia. Also on the New Year honors list is broadcaster Pamela Ballantyne, who is appointed an MBE for her charitable fundraising. And in the US, the leadership of police chiefs is being criticized for prioritizing social justice over crime fighting. That's it for today's news summary. As always, I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. What do you think about the booming wine industry in England? Are you excited about any upcoming sporting events? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.